And welcome back to Black Renaissance. Please welcome from Allen Temple Baptist Church, Theo Reagan. He's here to discuss the global community outreach youth that the youth are participating in. And this just sounds like an amazing program. It's really a mix, it sounds like, of a mission and sort of an exchange with young people here and in South Africa.
That's correct. It started out as a traditional mission effort where we were going to South Africa as a mission team, taking goods and providing some services. We adopted a nursery in Soweto at a church called W.W. Brown Memorial Baptist Church, and we started bringing clothing and buying books and supplies, school supplies, and appliances for the nursery and beds and things like that. And that was a very exciting thing for us to do, and it felt good. But I got kind of involved with the young people, the teenagers at the church in South Africa, and developed a very close relationship with them. And something said, you know, it might be nice to bring some youth to mix with the youth in South Africa. And so I came back and I talked to my pastor about it. He said, if you want to do that, go ahead and run with it. And so 5 years ago, I took the first group of high school students and college students to South Africa. And the mix was amazing, and they had an opportunity to sit down with the young people in South Africa, compare their lives, compare their stories, talk about their challenges, and they became fast friends, and they're still in communication. And so we repeated that, and we flipped it and brought some young people from South Africa to the United States. And each time they go to the respective countries, they do a conference between the two groups. We call it a bilateral conference, and they sit down together and talk about their problems and talk about their successes and their lives in general, and work out programs to kind of address some of the issues that they face in both countries.
So it sounds like it's not your traditional missionary sort of program.
No, it's a little bit different. I mean, we believe in charity, so whenever we go, we take clothing with us, and we take some money with us, and we buy things for the children who are living around the church. This is a very marginalized, poor community around the church, and so we buy things for them, and we provide, sometimes we even give them money. But we also realize that it's important to help people to help themselves, and so to the extent that we have developed programs to address some of the issues in poor communities, we share those programs with the people that we meet, and we share them through our young people. And so they kind of collaborate together. We have a program, actually it's a competition, and we challenge the young people in both communities to develop community service projects. They outline them and they send them in, and they're reviewed, and the ones who produce the most important programs win a trip, and the trip is to each other's country.
That's amazing. And that truly, I mean, you call it the global ministry, and that definitely sounds like, you know, it's not just completely charity-based. It really is about helping young people to think globally.
Yes, indeed, indeed. And they get their hands dirty. Like when we go we're leaving on the 23rd of June. We're going to spend 5 days in Soweto and 5 days in Cape Town. And in Cape Town, we've already been invited to restore an orphanage building. So we're going to spend 3 days painting and repairing the building, fixing the floor, getting some carpeting down and things like that. But at the same time, they get a chance to spend social time with the young people from the church. They tour together and they meet together and conference together. So it's a real mix, and it's a very exciting time. There's something magical that happens, and I'm not quite sure what causes it, but the first time I went, I fell in love with South Africa, and I fell in love with the people. Every time we go, I see the same thing happen with the people that we take there. And the kids, they just kind of come together and establish these really fantastic relationships. And now they're doing their own thing, you know, kind of independent of us older people. You know, they're on Facebook, they're on the internet in general, and they communicate with each other. We have one young person from South Africa who's now in the United States in college. And we have a young man who went with us 4 years ago who's going back with us next month. And he's now at Howard. He's majoring in film. Mm-hmm. He won an internship to the Cannes Festival, so right now he's in Cannes. When he comes back, he's going to go with us to South Africa, and because of the skills he's developed with his major in film, he's going to do a documentary on our work in South Africa.
That is wonderful.
So it's exciting. It's a lot of fun, and I get the pleasure of hanging out with a bunch of young people every summer.
And watching them experience and sort of have their lives changed in a way. Yeah?
Yes.
That sounds like a fantastic program. And you're gone for how long?
We're usually on the ground for 10 to 12 days.
10 to 12 days.
Because it takes us 2 days to get there and a day and a half to get back. And so I try not to keep them more than 14, 15 days.
Well, that is enough time for someone's perspective to be completely changed from being in Oakland to going to a completely different continent and meeting, you know, young people who are just like them and having those experiences. It's amazing work that you're doing, and it sounds like a great program.
It is so much. It's so fulfilling. So.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us. I sure appreciate it. It's the Global Ministry. For more information about it, you can actually log on to allentemple.org. That's allentemple.org. That's going to do it for us for Black Renaissance today. We're going to leave you with a little more from that group you saw earlier, Gritty City Youth. Take a look at their production. They've got another one coming up. Make sure to check them out as well. Goodbye, everyone.
We work them hard, so it's not every kid that is up for something like this. Just the raw physicality of boot camp and the military, and that's the lens that we're looking through and what we keep coming back to if it feels too one note in any direction. This is not just like a message play. It's really trying to get at the human experience of each character in the show and really stay with that. My name's Lindsay Crumbine, and I am the director of Gritty City Repertory and our upcoming show, Re-Entry.
Re-Entry is this tough military play that it's a side that you really don't hear often.
I think everyone should come see Re-Entry because it carries a strong message and a strong reality of what Re-Entry actually is. With this play, I feel like we see different